No. For the arts community for 30 years.
No. Okay. All right.
I lived here for 15 years.
And you are?
Denny Moers.
Denny Moers?
Photographer.
Okay.
We just are using the... We thought we'd come back to 407 Pine Street in the old jewelry district of Providence, which was, you might say, headquarters for a great deal of the arts community. I moved to Providence. I think when I moved here in '75, it was not a destination. Matter of fact, it was still called the Armpit on the way to Cape Cod. I felt total confidence in Providence. I don't know anybody besides myself that literally moved to Providence and said this was an arts community when I did in '75. And I saw it as that, but I also came here to take a job being Aaron Siskind's first printer. The room would be full of music in his dark room, and we shared a great love of music, and what played in my dark room I feel contributed to the understanding of my art. Music for me is art. I think I even turn to it more than images to get ideas. One of the aspects of that has happened with my artwork that I'm most proud of is a long history of my images being used for book covers and CD covers. And I've just been thrilled about that because poetry and writing is really important to me. Books are essential to my growth as an artist.
I am repeatedly reminded of one of Glenn Gould's bold pronouncements. The purpose of art is not the momentary ejection of adrenaline, but the lifelong construction of a state of wonder and serenity. It is a deep pleasure to award Denny Moers a Rhode Island Pell Award.
Shall we chant for Cleveland? Cleveland! The seance, as it was called, the midnight seance, since it always began at the stroke of midnight, was a legendary arts event that myself and Dennis Holinsky started. It was one of those events that the arts community felt was a very special way to kind of bring us all together, to reflect on the year, to use our creativity, to think about our lives, and to pass on. It was almost a, you know, you'd think of it almost as a spring ritual, but done in to sum up the dead.
And we
are going to chop down the maypole,
tree,
and we're
going to dance around it.
Yeah, and that's traditional. May Day was another event that occurred and still occurs and has never been broken yet on the first Sunday of May. You can't just ask me to resuscitate the dead year after year without paying me anything. We put on a play, we cut down a maypole, we have a maypole dance and a big potluck supper, and that again is open to the whole community. And I think we just feel that rituals are a way to mark our lives. We could incorporate these essential elements of being an artist into a daily life. You know, we could have these rituals that would happen seasonally. We could have the bars. We could have a thriving arts center like AS220, but we could also see what's happening in the arts around the world by heading down to New York or up to Boston. And Providence was just a perfect location. Call it the armpit, but you know, I believe in the great scent of life, and in that sense, it smelled wonderful to me. There's quite a little metaphor there. You know, a good road trip for me is kind of like walking into a gigantic blank canvas. And once I'm in that landscape, once I'm in that canvas, I try to reduce as much external distractions as I can and really feel like I am in that studio, and that's where I am. The great thing about visual poetry, the great thing about thinking poetically is you're thinking in terms of what is beyond the literalness of something. It isn't so much the field I'm seeing. The barren landscape before it's plowed is certainly attracting me, with this thin horizon line of trees just sort of wavering half seen in the background. But it wouldn't mean anything to me if the tracks of some vehicles aren't there. Of course.